and don't study new stuff before exam. Just revise whatever you have known. So studying new things, adding new things at the end, at the edge will not help you. If you ask in my point of view, most probably well-prepared students get anxious often because
They are well prepared.
they are well prepared.
Exams are a big part of student life, but for many of us, the struggle isn't the syllabus, rather, the stress that comes with it. I'm Priya Thomas from Grade 9 Cambridge, and I'm here with Miss Sandhya, a psychologist, to discuss how to combat exam anxiety.
Hi, Sandhya ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a few questions to ask you.
Sure.
This is all about exam anxiety.
Okay.
So, generally, what is something you'd like to say about exam anxiety?
Generally, if you ask me, even I have gone through exam anxiety, so it's quite common. Everyone, I think, from the age of 10, I think, because before that we don't know the series of exams. So probably from age 10 until you give any exam after that, before every exam you have exam anxiety. So it's very common and most commonly prevalent among students. Yes.
I, for one, am someone who definitely faces exam anxiety and blanks out before any exams. So, is exam anxiety a sign of poor preparation, or well-prepared students also experience it?
If you ask in my point of view, most probably well-prepared students get anxious often because
They are well prepared.
they are well prepared and they have they like prepare themselves for, like, not for exams but they're going for war, so that actually makes them more anxious, and the situation they perceive it as more threatening rather than challenge. So when you perceive the situation, the exam as just a challenge, you find it very okay, it is a challenge, I'm going to face it, I'm going to write the exam and come back. But when you see that as a threat, so your body becomes naturally adrenaline pumped, yes, as you said, and it like prepares going for a war.
So, how do you differentiate normal anxiety over exam stress?
Okay. So first of all, as you know, you're also a psychology student. Stress is something that makes us do things which is productive. It helps us to grow. But anxiety is something just the opposite of us. It stops us from doing what we want to do. It just blacks out us and it controls us. It takes control over our mind and body. So when you see exam as a challenge and you're able to perform through the challenge, it is considered stress. But when you don't want to perform, or you just want to escape or avoid it, then it comes under anxiety. So that's the major difference between stress and anxiety.
So, let's get a basic understanding of this exam anxiety. What exactly happens in our brain and body when we're facing anxiety?
Okay, actually, brain reacts differently to anxiety and your body reacts differently to anxiety, but it is interlinked to each other. So first, when you feel anxious, before your brain, your body responds to it. Like you get a lot of physical symptoms initially. Your heart starts beating fastly, you get nervous, there's a lot of sweat, you feel shivering, giddiness, and sometimes there's chance of you for fainting also. In extreme situations, yes, that's called blacking out. Sometimes you just black out and you just forget where you are, what you're doing, you forget yourself. That's the extreme of anxiety. Brain, it's a bit tricky. It reacts a bit tricky to anxiety, like it creates a lot of thoughts which you don't want to hear. Like, how am I going to do this? I will fail in this, I can't do this. So a lot of your black shade or grey shade comes out. That's the beauty of it. So you will not feel like okay, I can do this. I've prepared it. I've come here for the exams. I'm going to write it. No, I've not prepared. Even though when you're well prepared, you think that no, I'm not well prepared. No, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Only in that time you feel what you didn't do it. So that what anxiety gets out of your mind. So whatever you don't want to do, you don't want to talk about, or you don't want to think about yourself. So that's what anxiety do to your brain and your body. So it's kind of a bit overwhelming. If you consolidate it, you get confused easily. So this is the effect of anxiety on mind and body.
So what does anxiety do to make us forget what we've learned?
Okay. This question, just remember you just went inside a library and mistakenly you switched off the light. How will you search the book? In the dark.
You won't be able to.
As soon as you switch off the light, you get panicked. And in the dark, how much ever you panic and you run around and such, will you be able to find the book you want? No. So that's what happens when you black out in anxiety.
So you have all the memory, but
You have all the
able to
memories,
access
but
it.
you will not able to access it because you turned off the light, which is your calm mind. So in order to get all those memories back, all those stuff back what you've learned, first you have to switch off the light.
To avoid this anxiety, how should students prepare for exams to avoid this blackout or loss of a library? The way you said.
Okay. So there's one to prevent and one to do when you actually you have anxiety. So the prevention thing, what you can do is studying the night before exam.
Just the night before?
Just the night before. Suddenly you get awake and you realize that, oh, tomorrow's exam, I have so much to study. I have to cover this unit, that unit, and you keep studying for long hours without any break or rest. You overstimulate the brain. Overstimulation of the brain, it makes it restless. So eventually you fall into anxiety. It's quite natural, your body's way of responding to it. So the studying night before exam is the first step you should stop.
So we shouldn't study the night before the exam.
It means it is not like you shouldn't study, but proper structured routine. That would help. Even you have to plan it weeks before, not even days before. So sticking to a routine properly makes your field brain secure.
Would we have to do a read through, or would you just recommend avoiding the books before the exam, the night before?
The night before, as usually you can study. Usually you have a routine, right? For example, I study 6 to 9 in the evening, study 6 to 9.
Okay.
And don't study new stuff before exam. Just revise whatever you have known. So studying new things, adding new things at the edge will not help you. Again, it overstimulates the brain. And working for long hours without break again makes your brain very exhausted. Exhausted and restless brain
Doesn't remember anything.
doesn't remember anything. It's quite natural. It's the how the brain is structured. So you should stick to a routine. Sleep well before exam. At least 8 hours of sleep. Drink enough water. Rest your body well. Rest your mind well, and then go write your exams.
The college students haven't gotten that memo yet, from what I've understood. Continuing with this prevention, so we should just 8 hours of sleep, drinking water, avoiding overstudying. Is there anything else you want to add?
You can do some productive leisure activities in your break time, rather than just break doesn't mean that you can go back, watch a movie, or you can use your social media or your phone. It doesn't mean that. Don't distract your brain. But some productive leisure activities like a simple drawing, stretching, just a simple 10-minute walk inside your room. So all these things like structured breaks you can take. Like for 20 minutes or 30 minutes you can study. Again for 5 minutes you take a break. And then again for 20-30 minutes you study. 5 minutes you take a break.
The Pomodoro technique.
Exactly. So that you use most of your time productively, as well as your brain, your body and brain will be rested and calm.
So breaks as well as studying with in equally spaced timing.
Exactly. Rest is very, very, very important for your brain to reset. So we have seen in memory unit, what consolidates the memory?
Recollection, elaborative rehearsals, but also
Sleep. Only sleep consolidates your memory. So without sleep, you doing will not get into the memory.
How do we handle this pre-exam anxiety? Such as, to give a situation, a student they studied a lot throughout the week, but the night before, they're just stressing out because they have a huge exam the next day. How would we handle such a situation?
Okay, that is something, it's very unique to the individual. I think not everyone goes through this stress, but some who's very perfectionist themselves. So they have certain personality characters, right? They want to be very perfect. They want to perform this much. They doesn't want to disappoint others, disappoint themselves. It's not the exam alone that gives anxiety. It's all other the surrounding things with it, the pressure that comes with it. the expectations from the teachers, from parents, the expectations of themselves. So all these things prone to trigger the anxiety very much. All their insecurities, that's the major point. So that triggers the anxiety rather than only facing exam. So it's in the long run, you have to learn to deal with those skills. So facing exam is different, and like handling these things, they're separate skills. So these skills has to be learned from a very long time, not only in exam point of view, but generally.
How do we separate this insecurity and anxiety about how others see us from the way we perform academically?
So whenever you get these thoughts, you get these self-doubts, these insecurities, one thing you have to remind yourself consciously is that it is not me. It is the anxiety triggering all these thoughts, as I said. The anxiety brings out the worst thoughts of your mind. So you consciously you say that this is not me, this is the anxiety that's talking to me, that's telling me all these thoughts. So you consciously try to avoid it and distract it initially. Then you learn how to work on it. So it's a long process working on it. So the simple step would be just to identify that this is the anxiety that's provoking all these thoughts. So I shouldn't listen to these thoughts. These are not my own thoughts.
Yes.